Welcome to Trailblazing Career Tech Minds, the podcast where we dive into the innovative world of career tech. Join us as we explore the latest trends, tools, and transformations shaping the future of work. Each episode, we bring you insights from industry leaders, cutting-edge technologists, and forward-thinking educators who are pioneering the way forward. Whether you are a seasoned professional or just starting your journey, this podcast is your gateway to understanding how technology is revolutionizing careers and empowering the workforce of tomorrow. Tune in and stay ahead of the curve with Trailblazing Career Tech Minds.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Hi, I'm your host and career coach, Morel Baxter, and this is my co-host,
Carol Turner in Core English Language Arts.
In today's Trailblazers, we're so excited. We've had to reschedule a couple of times, but we have some welding guys and girls in here today. Mr. Stewart, Mr. Ronald Stewart, he's one of our welding instructors.
That's correct.
And Miss Jessa-Lynn Adkins, one of our welding students.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so we're super excited to have you guys on today. What has been going on in welding class lately?
So basically, we've done a lot of NCCER core and level 1 credentialing. We're probably about a quarter of the way through now with our process, but Mr. Mowdy, he touched base with me a couple of weeks ago and said, hey, what can we do to get these guys out of the books for a little while? And I said, well, on the equipment side, we do have the virtual technology. So we've pretty much implemented that, got that started, and the kids have taken to that. The students love it. And it's every day. It's like, video game time for them.
Yeah.
They come in. Can we play on it? Can we try it? Can we have our competition? And some days we let them, but some days we have to hit the books. But yeah, for right now, until our shops are ready to go, that's pretty much where we're at. We're doing core, level 1. And then we're doing the virtual reality.
I actually saw a video of that on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it looked
I was going to say that.
It was a short clip I
neat.
took, yeah. I wished I could have got a little bit longer video, but it did come out pretty good.
I want to come do that. Can I come to your class?
Well,
What's the equipment look like? Is it like virtual reality?
It's actually a welding hood that you put on, and it's got the virtual goggles in it. They're actually... It's augmented, so everything's right there. So once you put the equipment in your hand, it's like you're in a booth or on a job site.
There's no lag between like your hand, it's real.
You can ask Jessa-Lynn. It's dialed in pretty well.
Tell us about it.
When you hold it, it's almost the same weight.
It's everything's identical. They try to mimic it.
It's the weirdest feeling in the world because, you're used to being in the shop, you're used to feeling, the heat, the strike, everything, and then you get into, the VR headset, and it's really cool and really simple, and it's really fun to, try to beat each other's scores and stuff. It's really cool, though, and I think it's a really great way to practice because, you don't have to put on all your equipment and everything. You can just go right at it. It's really cool and definitely weird.
Yeah. Are you the only girl in the welding class?
No, ma'am. We have... I think 1, 2, 3, 4 other girls.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think I think it's either 4 to 6 in our last class for the seniors, but all together throughout the day, I think we have a total of 15 ladies.
Now, Mr. Stewart, tell me if this rumor is true. I've heard that women tend to be really good welders.
So I'm going off of past experiences, what I've seen in the field, and what I've seen teaching, and I can 100% agree that females make better welders. They really do. They pay more attention to details. And guys are so, especially growing up as a teenager, they're rough. They're like a bull in a china shop, and so to speak. And sometimes you have to throttle it back and understand. A lot of this is about precision and muscle memory, and ladies are more apt to tone it down, take full advantage of the time in the booth, and they want everything to look pretty. So that's where it comes into play. You know, most guys are like, hey, it's done, I'm walking away from it, but most of the females that I've seen have they have the talent.
And
Yes.
precision. To do
And
it.
precision,
Wow.
absolutely.
So did you win the competition?
So I actually didn't compete in welding.
Okay.
I competed in extemporaneous public speaking.
Oh, excellent. Yay.
Yeah. I'm looking into competing in welding sculpting and stuff, making cool objects out of welding.
Is
So
that a
hopefully-
competition?
It is.
There's
Neat.
several. We have more than you know, and it's a lot. It really is.
Well, that brings me to my next question. Did you go to Skills USA?
I did, yes, ma'am.
Okay, how was it? Tell us about it.
It was a really cool experience, other than having the flu when competing
my
for
gosh.
districts. But it was really different because being a part of a CTSO already and competing in different types of competitions, it was just a whole other world. And I think it was a really great way to explore different types of skills and stuff. Whenever I walked into the convention and I went to the bottom floor where there's mechanics going on, there's construction going on, there's the hair and makeup going on. It was just really different, and you could walk in and just see so many different people and so many different students my age enjoying
Wait,
careers.
did you say hair and makeup?
Hair and makeup.
For a welding competition?
No, ma'am. There's just different competitions going on.
Oh,
at the
okay.
same
They
time.
had cosmetology in there too.
Cosmetology.
I got
That's
you.
what I couldn't think of the word.
I was like, wait.
Cosmetology.
Y'all have hair and makeup done for welding too? That's, hey, I like it.
There was a competition for bricklaying.
Okay.
It was really cool. But Skills USA in general, there was just so many different students from I think 14, maybe younger, to 19, 20 years old that are all doing completely different careers and everything. And it was really cool to witness, especially seeing our welding students go and excel was really cool.
How did we do, Mr. Stewart?
So at district last year, we unexpectedly did way better than I was planning on doing. Honestly, I knew I had a strong team, and I figured we would place, but unfortunately, the top two advanced to state. So when we went to district in Mobile to Bishop State, we were able to bring home gold in 4 different categories.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good for the second year, and I was super excited. I was super happy for them, and they worked hard to get to state. We got to state, went back to Mobile, had to be in 2 different places at once. It was really tough, actually 3, but I hung out at AIDT for most of the day with our fabrication team, and so Jessa-Lynn, she ended up placing 3rd in the state for extemporaneous speaking, and
Nice.
my fabrication team, they ended up winning 1st place to make it to nationals in the first year in, I don't know, probably 30, 35 years.
What? So y'all are going to nationals?
But we've already been.
Okay, so how'd you do there?
So we went to Atlanta in the latter part of June, and we were excited to be there. It was a long trip. It was a 6-day trip. We didn't do so great, being that it was our first time, but the competition was super fierce. I mean, it was crazy good, and we ended up placing 37th out of 41 contestants. But just to get there, it was a learning experience for me. It was a learning experience for them. They've graduated and moved on to college and getting into their careers and all. And they wouldn't, looking back, they wouldn't trade it for the world.
And I would say it seems like every year it keeps getting better and better.
It does.
So there's a lot of value in just getting that experience,
Right. Yep.
seeing what it's about.
Yep.
And what I noticed about the teams that did really well was that synergy.
Yeah.
They worked as a team.
Wait, were you
Everyone
there?
So we had an opportunity to go to Skills USA
Awesome.
district competitions.
Okay.
And I was also able to get more insight on the judging side as to what they do for their projects. So every project has basically a proposal and presentation side to it, where they have to have resumes in their binder, objectives identified, a summary of their materials. It's pretty much like a glance at your project, but that's not it. Then you have to pitch it to the judges and explain in detail the design decisions, the community impact of it, and basically what it took to create it. So it's much more in depth than just building something. It's a proposal. It's persuasion, using those speaking skills to showcase your knowledge.
That's really cool. I didn't know that y'all got to go. That's awesome.
It was really nice for us because we could see the ways that CORE could help.
Mm-hmm.
So the opportunities to speak in front of large crowds, to speak with confidence, and to apply your knowledge in a way that showcases your expertise. That's really what stood out among the teams, are the students that were confident in that delivery.
Who's the school to beat? Do you remember? We're
There's
coming for you next year.
There was one at State that recently built a school similar to this, not quite on the technology side that we have. I can't remember their name right off the bat, but I did remember talking to Mr. Seeley right after the competition, and he said, "Yeah, that's the one. We're going to try to trump next year." And I said, "Well, me and Mr. Hayes we're going to put both feet forward in doing it." And honestly, once we get into our shops and everybody gets relaxed and gets familiar with all the tools and the new equipment, because we're so used to using older stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So all this new equipment's going to be so nice. It's almost like having a new bed to sleep in, and it's going to take some getting used to.
Yeah.
It really is. And they're going to, we've got a robotic arm in the shop, so not many.
do? Wow.
Yes, we do.
So when you go to competitions this year, you take your equipment with you, right?
No, ma'am. Yeah,
Okay.
everything is accommodated for us at district, state, and nationals.
You just show up.
You just show up and show out.
Nice.
Now, district, you do have to bring your own tools and material, but at state, everything's there for you.
What were the biggest challenges y'all faced when y'all were there at state and nationals?
I would say trying to get everybody where they needed to be on time.
Oh.
Because you're so spread out. Honestly, we were at, we had competition going on at Bishop State. We had competition going on the Causeway at AIDT. And then I had a lot of people that were in competition right there at the convention center.
Oh.
So I had 3 different areas. I had to make sure everybody was at it, when it was time for them to get on the bus. So
if you could just be at 3 places at one time.
Right. Logistics was a big, big hurdle for me.
Okay.
And Mr. Hayes.
Yeah.
So.
What do you think?
For me, the biggest difficulty was just waiting to compete. Because of the competition I did, I was given a number, and I was second to last to go into the room to speak. And it was just such a long competition that you're waiting for 20 other kids to go into a room and speak and give their pitch and everything.
How nerve-wracking.
It was awful.
Now, I can say this much for Jessa-Lynn, though. For her to be second to last, the two students that beat her were actually 2 of the what do you call it? The president and vice president of Skills USA.
Skills USA
yes.
as a whole.
So,
oh my
as
gosh!
a whole, so they.
Congratulations.
She was in very good company.
Yeah.
No, I've seen you speak in public, and you were absolutely amazing. And she spoke at our CTE PD back in August, and you're just so well spoken. You're a great speaker.
I've been doing it for a while, since the 8th grade.
Yeah,
so I have a bit
I
of
can
practice.
tell. You're really
And her
good.
welding is just as good.
I want to come see it.
She's very good at what she does.
You got some beautiful welds.
I try.
Well, good. So, when you, as a student, what are some things that you've learned that you're talking about? You have beautiful welds. Like, what do you do to make sure your stuff is, precise and the quality of it? Like, what are you learning from Mr. Stewart?
So, from the very first day last year, he let us know that to have good welds, you have to be a comfortable welder. You have to be comfortable in the booth. You have to be set up correctly. You have to make sure that your outside environments are in sync before you try to start welding. You have to be balanced and have definitely a level head. You can't go in and be super frustrated, because it is really easy to get frustrated with some pieces of work in the shop. But you really have to have a level head to go into the booth and start welding. And so the biggest thing is just trying to stay comfortable, which is very difficult. And you're wearing like 5 different layers of clothes. You have heat in your face and everywhere. You're getting burned all the time. So yeah, I think also some major things I've learned is just how to apply the skills I've learned from Mr. Stewart into my real life, like balancing definitely everything in my life and going into the welding shop. Time management, how to stay level-headed, how to just be mature in an environment like that. Just stuff like that I've learned along the way. And it has to do with what Mr. Stewart has taught us. You can't just get that from a curriculum. So yeah.
Dang, Mr. Stewart.
That's
like, you're like
life skills.
I think you're like the Nick Saban of welding.
I wouldn't say that. It's just, you put what you've been through and you put it into these kids, and they understand, to a point to it's not just about what you learn in the booth, but in life too. Mm-hmm. So that's what they take out of it.
So has he inspired you to be a welder for your career?
I would say so. He's really encouraged me, that's for sure. Because I went into welding, I kid you not, the first day of welding I walked in, I was in a dress. Because I didn't know that I didn't know I had welding. I got to school, I looked at my schedule, I was like, SMAW, what's that? And they're like, hop on the bus, you got trade school. I was like, okay. And so I was there. I was the only person, because he asked us who's looking to use this as a career in the future, who wants to go into welding. Everyone raised their hand except for me. I was like, I don't really know what this is. And throughout the year, I just learned so much, and I fell in love with welding and the art of it. And he, along the way, encouraged me more and more on my skill and my ability to weld, that I believed, hey, I can actually do this as a career. So yeah, definitely, he's inspired me to
You're inspiring me right now.
Well, you find out, a lot of times you find out, like, you can look at somebody and you can, you see the outside, but you don't really know what they're about. And once you find out what makes that person tick, you stay on that, and you drive it home to, hey, if you've got the ability, you might want to consider it. And
I love that.
A lot of them take it and run with it.
And speaking of art and welding, isn't that another competition that you shared with us that you're interested in maybe exploring?
I really am. I'm really interested in it, just because you can really make anything with welding if you really put your mind to it. And I could use my creativity, stuff I enjoy. I've looked into making really cool just objects, I guess. We've looked into, Mr. Hayes and I, we've looked into making like a fish of some sort, or some cool, just something cool that you can make with welding. And I think it's really cool what you can do with it. We would always play around in the shop with the machines and make little cute things with the MIG machine, because it's really easy. I bugged him so much last year, because I would just start drawing stuff on plates and just leaving it in the classroom and stuff. But yeah, I'm really interested in the artistic side of welding.
And last year, I think for a fundraiser, y'all had Christmas decorations.
What y'all do?
So the Christmas trees were it was kind of a haphazard deal. It really was. I actually found this video on YouTube, and this fabrication shop found this file that they bought on Etsy for like $15. And they turned around and made like a $1,300 profit on it.
Wow.
So I emailed the people that ran the video. I emailed them and said, hey, this is my name. This is what I'm doing. I'm interested in, doing this for a fundraiser for my students. And they said they couldn't necessarily give me the file, but they sent me in the right direction to purchase it. So I purchased it. and we made almost $1,800 with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was
So it's basically a 2-part Christmas tree, and it just slides together, and we made different sizes, sold them in a set, and everybody around the county bought one.
Wow.
They were
Yeah.
beautiful.
Are y'all going to make those again?
We're going to try to once, and this year we've actually got a bigger plasma table, so, we can make more at one time, so
Nice.
be a lot less work on me.
I know at some point in the year we made like Mother's Day signs.
Yeah, we
and
did.
stuff
Yeah,
to
we
give
tried to
our
hit a lot
moms.
of the holidays, so
Okay.
I played around with it a good bit last year.
And was there a collaboration between welding, construction, and culinary that culinary used their menu sign?
So that was actually it was culinary and construction, I believe. They actually took a cutting board that culinary was going to do, and they actually engraved the menu for one of their banquets into the cutting board.
Very cool.
And then I want to say they either painted it or did something to make the outline like black where it stood out. And but yeah, it was super neat.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Super neat.
Well, we definitely are very interested in anything creative
Oh,
or
yeah.
artistic or a
Yes.
sculpture because
Absolutely.
they do make beautiful pieces.
And that's the cool thing about sculpting is you don't have to be the best welder. As long as it sticks together.
Yeah.
And honestly, you really don't, because I'd say 99% of it gets polished off, so you see the final product. And so that's where a lot of people tend to go that route, because like I said, you don't have to pass an x-ray, you don't have to pass any kind of testing. You can just be creative, do what you enjoy, and go about your business.
Well, I have about 18 pumpkins from construction. Just kidding, but I have a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my order for that.
There you
That's
go.
really cool.
Yep.
Do you see a future in welding?
I do 100%. I want to, I have 2 different plans that I'm looking into after graduating is either finishing my associates the year after I graduate for welding and work a little bit to go into a university where I can study more on my agriculture lifestyle, or go straight into a university, learn more about welding and my agriculture lifestyle, and then go into a company that would choose me for welding. So yeah, I really am interested in welding, and I think I can make a really nice lifestyle out of it.
You're like a jack of all trades. So tell
Definitely.
them, are you FFA president? Tell us what you are. I know you're something.
I'm the state vice president for the Alabama FFA Association.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
It took a long time to get there.
Yeah, so you have an ag background, and you love
Yes,
ag,
ma'am.
and you also love welding. And you said something about journalism.
So I'm really interested in ag communications and specifically the ag journalism side of it. I'm really interested on educating others on the trends of agriculture and the different issues going on in agriculture. My main mission right now has to do with farmers and mental health. That's just my main topic right now. So yeah, I'm really interested in it.
Okay, that's very interesting. I want you to come speak to our middle school girls.
Absolutely.
I would love to.
You're such an inspiration.
And it really shows, like you said, that broad skills. It's not just one thing, like you're doing ag, you're doing welding, you're doing journalism. So the possibilities of what you can do as a Baldwin Prep student, it could either be career tech focused, academic focused, or just what your personal interests are.
Mr. Stewart, what would you tell future students who are thinking about getting into welding, maybe in your class? What would you tell them?
Come on. I mean, and it's one of those things that you can be interested in, but you really don't know if you're gonna enjoy it or love it until you do it. And excuse me. And I didn't know I was gonna enjoy it whenever I was a junior in high school. I started it, fell in love with it, stayed through my high school, went to Reed State and Evergreen for a couple of years, and graduated there, and never looked back. So it's been a wild trip.
Yeah.
It really has. It's been a great one.
Well,
I've been blessed.
Well, I cannot thank y'all enough
Yeah.
for coming on today. I feel like our time was so fast because
It
we had
did.
such a great conversation. But I would love to have y'all back. I always say I want to follow up with you
Yeah, absolutely.
because they're still really in the beginning of the year and just
Exactly.
kind of see what y'all think at the end. I'm
Yeah.
really
Of course.
excited for y'all to get in your shops.
Me too.
Yes,
we all
me
are.
too.
Yeah.
We
I
all.
think everyone's ready.
That it's kind of like
Yeah.
Christmas morning. We're ready to open up all
Well,
the
we
presents.
just need to know when Christmas morning is going to
That's
be.
it. Just tell me the date.
Yeah.
I'll be ready.
And another upcoming thing to keep in mind is our advisory that we're going to have in
Oh, yes.
October.
That's right. Yep. No doubt. Yeah. So, me and Mr. Hayes, we've got a huge list of people interested. Our old advisory members that's been with us for a couple of years now. It's grown substantially. It probably doubled from the first year to the second, and it's probably doubled now. So,
I
yeah,
can imagine.
we've got a lot of people on board that that really want to be a part of this, and we couldn't be happier.
And so this
honestly.
first one's October 14th, is that right?
October 14th, yes, ma'am. It'll be that Monday, I believe. Yep,
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you want to get on board, you can send us an email.
absolutely.
And we're going to start off with, I guess, a little breakfast, and then we're going to break out into our
Our groups.
programs.
Yep.
Okay.
We get to give everybody a tour of the school, and hopefully by then we'll be in our shop.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that
Keeping
be
my
amazing?
fingers crossed. That
Yeah.
would be great. So.
And I hope you get a pink welding hat with all that. Yeah.
I hope so.
I'll see what I can do.
All right, guys. Well, thank y'all so much for coming on
You're
today. We hope y'all will tune back in next week. Thank y'all
All right.
guys so much.
Thank you.